Hello, welcome to episode 27 of Southern Grace and Sass. I am happily to report that I am over this cold except for this lingering cough that I want to go away so bad. Yep, I have the mucus part of it that if you see me coughing, I'm trying to get rid of it. But if you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe, help a girl out. So you're probably wondering, why is this episode titled Live Like Aubreigh Wyatt? Well, for those of you that don't know, Aubreigh Wyatt was this 13-year-old girl who was bullied into suicide by her so-called friends. And today we're going to be talking about bullying and why it's never okay, and how her case also gained more notoriety with a song called Forever 13. But first, here's the thing. I was bullied in school, and because of the way I smelled, because of the way I talked, and it sucks. The school wouldn't do anything about it because they couldn't prove anything. My point exactly. Yeah, but schools never can do anything similar, right? Well, um, um, they also like to say, well, maybe it starts at home, yada yada yada. It might be, but here's the thing: when kids are intentionally bullying you at school, they need to be punished. They really do. At the end of the day, they need to be punished. Hmm. So there is this song called Forever 13 by Chloe Grace. It is talking about Aubreigh Wyatt. Um, Now I was gonna do some TikToks, to start this episode off, but I was like, let's jump right into it because this is a serious issue that needs to be discussed. Bullying is never okay, and the more we do it, the more dangerous it can be. There's a difference between bullying and teasing your friends. And these girls were not her friends, and they tried to silence her mom. But here's the thing: it's our job to make sure this her story goes public, even if they won't hurt them silence. These girls would never tell no a day in their life, and I honestly don't care because this is a very near and dear subject to me, a subject that I wish I didn't know all too well. I really do. But Chloe Grace went on American Idol, and she has with her original song called Forever 13. And she goes, she was only 13, had some big dreams, and you took them all away. And she had her whole life ahead of her, and you watched her drift away. You never thought what you said could mess up someone's head, but maybe you think you know now that she's gone. A young girl had to lose her life so you could feel somewhat satisfied that you could, in this sick and twisted world, you wouldn't think twice if a few young girls would do any harm. But look at where we are. Now she's dancing in heaven with no tears, no worries, no weight on her shoulders today. Now, I never felt that kind of pain, but I can't imagine how it feels to be a mom, lose a daughter. It must feel so surreal. And like, how could she be gone? She blames herself for her death, for doing wrong, and she knows it ain't her fault. And the final verse goes, even though she is gone, her story will forever live on. And I'm gonna say her name because no one deserves that kind of pain. Forever 13 has some big dreams, and you took them away. Look, this was a beautiful 13-year-old little girl who had her whole life ahead of her. And yet, that wasn't enough for some of these girls. They claimed to be her friends, but yet they wanted to come through and bully her. Now, let me talk to you about the case real quick so you can get insight as to what I'm talking about for those of you that don't know it. But Aubreigh Wyatt was a 13-year-old little girl whose whole life had a whole life ahead of her. Her so-called friends Molly Noblet, Peyton Henry, Parker Green, and Ava Case bullied and harassed her online. Her mom is Hedda Wyatt, and she has two siblings. Well, Taylor and Riker. Her grandfather is Carrie Wyatt, and Aubrey was a well-rounded, smart, beautiful, and kind person. She was a very good student and had good grades. She was bullied by four girls in the same group of friends from her school that claimed to be her friends. Now, Heather may not be allowed to say her names, but I for sure will. Even Molly had the guts to go on social media and try to pretend she felt bad. She didn't feel bad. She felt bad she got caught, and now she's getting attention, but not for what she wanted attention for. But again, these girls' names are Molly Noblet, Peyton Henry, Ava Case, and Parker Green. They claim to be her friends, but would go behind her back and talk badly about her, shaming her in her disgusting words. And this caused Aubrey to feel anxious and depressed. Now, she brought this attention to her mom, and her mom called the school. And the talk to the principal school was district was pointless, so they basically did nothing. And Ocean Springs Middle School, I heard they're being sued. By the way, good. They need to be sued. Will allow Aubrey to be around a boy that sexually assaulted her, even though her pleas and her mom's to have not have her be around her. Now, the school would delete reviews of attention to what happened in her and aiding her bullies. Of course they would, because they don't want to bear responsibility for that kind of stuff. But Ocean Springs Middle School, I hope y'all get the karma you deserve. Now, on September 4th, 2023, she sadly took her own life, just at 13. Even after her death, her bullies would continue to make fun of her, and her family is still continuing their legal battles to hold her bullies accountable. Some of the charges were dropped because the court stated that she is no longer here to speak about what happened, involved in the case with SA. Now, recently, her mom was court ordered to deactivate her social media to protect the minors, and Molly's dad is the main reason the case is still is a battle because he is the district superintendent as well as Molly's aunt being an attorney, so they are trying to get away with this. That's just truly, truly messed up. Like, your kids need to know these girls need to know responsibility for their actions. They need to realize that bullying is never okay. And they need to have some jail time. I stand by that statement. If you're bullying someone to suicide, you need jail time at the end of the day. I don't care what anyone says. I don't pity you. I don't pity these girls. These girls had no business doing this, and yet they wanted to because what? They were bored, they were teenagers. That's just messed up. But this case truly does irritate me. And I only say it because this is why I'm not talking about this on my true crime channel. Because I think this is this is something that needs to be addressed. Bullying is never okay. Now, I wanted to talk about some cases similar to Molly's. I mean, similar to Aubrey's. Um, for example, some key bully side cases was Rebecca Ann Cedric, who was a 12-year-old Florida girl who died by suicide after being bullied and online for a year and a half by other girls, including messages encouraging her to take her own life. Then there's Phoebe Nora Mary Prince, who was a 15-year-old Irish student in Massachusetts, whose suicide after months of bullying led to a criminal prosecution of 6 teenagers and new anti-bullying laws. In the most famous case, which I talked about this on my true crime podcast, but Amanda Todd, who was a Canadian teenager who posted about a video detailing her experience cyberbullying and harassment before her death, which brought international attention to online bullying. And only, guys, I know some of y'all are probably going to say, well, she probably deserved it, yada yada. She didn't deserve it. This was a 13-year-old girl. No one deserves to be bullied into suicide. There is a true difference between between teasing and bullying. These girls were bullied. Hands down. I've seen the evidence. You can't convince me otherwise. These girls deserve to be punished for what they did. Anybody who tries to block that can all go to hell. I mean that from the deepest, sincerest place in my heart. You don't deserve privacy. You don't. Aubreigh's case needs to be heard worldwide to prevent stuff like this from happening ever again. That mom now has to go through life losing a daughter when she has two other siblings to take care of, and she's trying to bring justice for her daughter. These girls need. These girls were never told no a day in their life, and it shows. And now they're trying to be private about it. Guess what? You don't get privacy from me. I'm gonna make Aubrey's case well known. Excuse me. And also, I am gonna say this. Um, you and also there's an Aubreigh Wyatt Foundation that was started. And my friend Shay and I on March 17th, it's her birthday, we're gonna be wearing pink in honor of Aubrey. And because that was her favorite color, and we just want to honor her. We want to make her story known. But that is it for this episode. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day.